Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MUT web series. My name is Jessica Erickson, and I am the Wedding and Event Coordinator in the Memorial Union Event Management Office, and I will be your host today. Today, we have a special guest with us, Navya from the International Students and Scholars Office. The International Students and Scholars Office is housed in the Memorial Union, so they are one of our trustee building partners. And I will turn it over to Navya to introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about ISSO and what your role is in that department.
Thanks, Jessica. So my name is Navya, and I'm the International Student Engagement Coordinator for ISSO. So very, very long title, but essentially what I do is I get to welcome international students, make sure that they're staying engaged at Iowa State, that they feel welcome, and that they're really enjoying their campus experience. So that's kind of a broad overview of what I do. So I like to say that I start the student's journey from when they get here to campus. So when an international student, undergrads or grads get here, I start them off with orientation all the way up until our graduation ceremony that we hold from them. So I'm kind of get to be their person throughout their journey at Iowa State, and we host a lot of events and programs to make sure that international students feel heard, that they have their space, and that they get the chance to connect with the international population on campus. So I think I have a pretty fun job. I get to do a lot of fun things and help international students just have a really, really good experience on campus.
That's so great. I love hearing more about your office. I think that's such an important job, especially for Iowa State having such a large international population. Really awesome that we have your role that's completely dedicated to kind of being that person there for them, making sure they have a space and feel heard. So you kind of started to talk a little bit about some programming that you do. Can you tell us more about some programs that you host throughout the year and programs that you host specifically in the Memorial Union?
Absolutely. So my title says International Student Coordinator, but I work with their dependents and their families. So really, when I say international, I do mean the international population. So this could be undergrads, this could be grad students, scholars, postdocs, and your families. That's who I get to work with. So it's not just students, but really our international community at Iowa State. And they're invited to all of our programs, to all events that we do. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm a grad student, or I'm a postdoc, or I'm a child of one, this is also for you. So we would love to see you at all the things that we put on. So some of the programs that we host, we have the Cultural Ambassador Program, which is a really nice way to connect international students and domestic students on campus together. Each side has really amazing culture that we can share with each other. So this ambassador program, you get to kind of share your culture, your food, your favorite parts of each countries, and you get to learn from each other. So we put you into groups based on your mutual hobbies and interests. And it's a really fun way to meet new friends from all across the globe. I think my favorite story was when a student was into a group and they took trips to Minnesota together, and each person in each group was from a different country. So like I thought it was so cool that they spent holidays together, they did Thanksgiving together, and they went to Minnesota together. So you really get to learn a lot about different people and cultures and experience new friendships through the Cultural Ambassador Program. We also hold English Together, which is a program where if you want to learn English in a very non-judgmental way, like the people that show up are genuinely wanting to create a safe space for you to practice English and make new friends. So that would be the English Together program. We also have the International First Year Experience course. So if you're an undergrad, you would be joining this first year seminar. And yes, it's required, but it's really fun. So don't hate it just because it's required. You get the chance to go to socials. We take you to Des Moines, we take you to the mall. We do a lot of fun things over the semester, and you get connected to campus resources. So it's kind of like your space to answer all the questions that you want to know when you just moved here to Iowa State. It's a big change. So this first year seminar is just to make sure that you're comfortable and that you know how to transition well to Iowa State. We also have iLead, which is our leadership program. So if you're an international student on campus that you want to make an impact, you want to get an executive position in one of your student clubs, and you want to practice your leadership skills, you can join iLead, and you get the chance to grow your self-awareness, your personal development. You get to take assessments. It's all free, and you get to do a very hands-on project with a department on campus. So you're kind of graduating from iLead with a lot of experience under your belt, which sometimes I know is hard for international students to get. And then, of course, we do dinner in Des Moines. So if you're bored and you're like, I got to get out of Ames, you can go to Des Moines. We take a van down there, and you're able to kind of experience all the restaurants in the area. And on top of that, we do socials at least once a month or even twice a month. So we do things over breaks. We do a lot of trips, outdoor trips. So there's always something going on. And like I said, it's for all of you guys. It's not just for undergrads. It's not just for students. But if you're a postdoc, if you're a scholar, if you're a family member, all of our programs and events are for you.
That's amazing. Thank you for telling us more about those programs. I know I had heard of a couple of the programs that are in the Memorial Union, such as iLead and the Cultural Ambassador Program, but I didn't realize the whole breadth of everything you guys are doing with the international students and taking them places. And like, it sounds so fun, actually. So
Yeah, it
it's
is.
a really engaging experience. And one of my favorite things that your office does, especially, I mean, it is in collaboration with our office, so I might be a little biased, but I love that you are putting on programs during university holiday breaks, because it really didn't dawn on me until you guys started doing a lot of programming during holiday breaks, but a lot of our international students don't have the opportunity to go home. And so having some programming for them and having holiday get togethers and meals, that's such an important part of the community. And I think that just really brought a light and opened my eyes to how much you guys program over breaks and just really get involved with the students. So super great all around. So I know your office is working kind of remotely, kind of in a hybrid fashion. So what services are you guys offering more in person, and what services are you engaging students online?
Yeah, so we are figuring out what fall is going to look like. Currently, and this is recording in June, so it might change, but right now, most of our office is working from home. We do have advisors and our awesome secretary, Becca, they're still in the office. If you call us or email us, know that there's going to be someone there to answer you. A lot of us are working from home, but eventually we'll be coming back to make sure we can give students a really good experience. So for fall, our goal is to help build connection, but just in a safe way. We don't want to put on anything that might make students feel uncomfortable, or we don't want it to be unsafe. So our goal is to figure out, like, how can we help international students know that they have a community on campus, because it exists and there's tons of people that are part of this community. So how do we make sure that they're getting connected with each other? How do they know that they can still learn more about each other and be part of that community, but do it in a safe way? So this may look like holding some of our programs in smaller groups, which not a big deal for a semester. The Cultural Ambassador Program, typically we have like 200 people in one room because it's a bigger program, but maybe we'll just do smaller groups. English Together could potentially be turned virtual. So we're really looking at delivering and keeping the programs that we have, but we're figuring out a way to do it in a safe way. So the programs will exist. It might not be the way that we have seen it before. We will still do it, and we'll just have to update you on how it'll exactly look, but know that it'll still exist and it's still going to be there. And international students and scholars, if you are watching this, you will get a newsletter from me. So closer to the start of classes, we send out a newsletter every single week. So if you're like, I don't know what ISSO is doing, don't worry, we're going to type out a message so you know before the semester exactly what you can expect from us.
That sounds great. You guys have already a great plan for communication, and I think that is the most important thing with how our world is constantly changing, and it just sounds like you guys have a good plan to communicate those changes with the students. So very cool. speaking of kind of changing events and doing things a little differently, how is the planning for international orientation going, and in what ways will that kind of change due to COVID?
Yeah, so COVID-19 kind of changed our plans quite a bit. So a lot of international students right now that are abroad, due to the inability to make visa appointments, or there's a lot of travel restrictions going on, our population of international students and scholars that'll be entering in the fall is going to be pretty small. I'm expecting definitely less than 100 and maybe even less than 50 for how many might be starting in the fall. So it'll be a smaller number, and we're going to accommodate for that smaller number in our orientation. So for undergrads, all of them are expected to be here by August 11th, and then orientation will take place from the 12th to the 16th, and Destination Iowa State is going to be part of the orientation experience. So for our orientation, we'll still do the essentials. We might not be able to do as many socials or trips, but in our orientation, you will get a chance to get your questions answered by very important campus resources. So your immigration advisor, health insurance, health safety, US laws and safety, we will cover that information so you still know it. Unfortunately, we might not be doing trips. We usually take students to the farmers market. I don't know if that will happen anymore, but you will learn more about the essentials of your transition into Iowa State and go through immigration processing during our shortened orientation. And students, it's going to be appointment based. So through SciStart, they'll be able to make appointments to kind of get their essential immigration processing done. And all of this information will be on our website. So as soon as we have a schedule, as soon as we know exactly what steps students need to take, it's all on our website and they'll just have to kind of follow it. So it'll probably be a hybrid version. We will offer some things in person, but make sure that the information is also found online virtually, so students can choose to get that information delivered to them in whatever way is comfortable.
That sounds great. We are excited. I know our office is excited to be working with you guys on just making the event as close to normal as possible and just making sure that your goals are met. And it sounds like you guys have a great plan moving forward. So, kind of to wrap things up, do you have any advice for students or other departments or just anyone on how to stay engaged during this time?
So for students specifically, if you're watching this is like really confusing. It's confusing for us. Like, don't think you're the only one who's trying to sort all of these things out. Our office really does want to help. So any question that you have, or you like, you just need to talk through what your options are or what things look like don't hesitate to just reach out and email us. And our email is ISSO@iowa.state.edu. So easy to remember, just ISSO. And Becca, she will guide you to the right person. So don't hesitate. If you just want to figure out what's going on, or you want updates, or you just want to talk to someone, reach out to us. We have a lot of people that are just waiting to help you. And for maybe staff or just event planners that are watching this, I know at the beginning I was so bummed out and I kept thinking of kind of like the negatives of like, okay, this got canceled, that got canceled, but maybe 2020 isn't really canceled. Like maybe this is a way to kind of focus on more important things. Like maybe this is just another way to bring people closer together. And it's kind of awesome to see the world or just our country coming together and focusing on really important issues. So maybe we can change our mindset and not think that things are canceled. Maybe we're making things better in a way. So I try to remind myself of that too, is maybe 2020 isn't canceled. Maybe we could try to do really amazing things still. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm trying to have.
Wow. I know that I needed to hear that as an event planner, so I'm sure there are other people out there that did as well. Thank you so much, Navya, for joining us today. You had such great information for our international populations and international students and scholars coming to Iowa State. I can't wait to get this information to them. And thank you, everyone, for watching another episode of MU to You. We will see you next week.